one of the biggest unclimbed rock faces on the planet.
The size and scale is insane.
Well, I have to say that you are one of the biggest climate legends. You have broken several world records, won an Oscar for Best Documentary in 2019, and made a significant mark in your discipline. Now, in this sense, and after many years of work, would you say that your climbing is more of an art or a sport?
That's an interesting question. I've always felt like it's more of a sport. I
Okay.
mean, I have a lot of friends that consider climbing art in different ways, and I understand the artistry of climbing, but I grew up in a climbing gym, and I've always tried to be more like an athlete. That said, I mean, I think of climbing as a sport in the most beautiful places on earth. I mean, I appreciate the aesthetic beauty of it, and like I appreciate the art, but I think of myself more as an athlete.
Okay, I got it. So let's talk now about your new series for Disney Plus, Arctic Ascent. In it, we can see how you became one of the first person to climb one of the highest monoliths on the planet. Uh, it is the name Inmorkulak,
Yeah,
yes,
Ingmar Kortolak. It's hard to say.
located in Greenland. So tell me, what is like to take on this unprecedented challenge, and how did you live the experience of spending entire days in one of the most dangerous ecosystems in all the world?
Well, I mean, yeah, okay. I'll start with the environmental part.
Okay.
I mean, the ecosystem in and of itself isn't that dangerous. I mean, it's not fundamentally dangerous, but it's challenging. The weather was
Okay.
bad. It's cold. It's a difficult place to live for sure. But humans have lived there traditionally. I mean, it's like people do live there, and it's possible. I mean, the climbing was also dangerous but manageable. I mean, it was like loose rock, but then we sort of made adjustments in our strategy in order to make it a little bit safer for us. Like originally for Ingrid Kortelak, we planned to bring the whole team up on the wall and to camp on the wall and basically tackle it like you would a big wall in Yosemite. But then when we got there and the rock was so loose, we realized that we just couldn't use that strategy because it was too dangerous. But then instead, we chose to use a smaller team, which was just me and Hazel, and less filming, and just keep it simpler, keep it safer, keep it faster. Um, so I mean, I think that the wall was challenging and the wall was dangerous, but I think that we made all the correct decisions that we could to
Mhm.
keep it as safe as possible.
Okay, now that you mentioned your team, to accomplish this feat, you were accompanied by an important team of professionals, including Hazel Finley and Mikey Schiffer, now two world-class climbers. What
Yeah.
did you enjoy most about working with them?
Oh, I mean, they both have been longtime friends of mine. Both of
Mhm.
them I've climbed with or worked with for 15 years, maybe. And
Okay.
so I mean, they're both good friends. And actually, the three of us have been on expeditions together as far back as 10 years ago, I think. And so, but the important thing though is that the two of them are individually some of the best climbers in the world who have extensive experience with first ascents. And so it made for a really strong team because it meant that each of us has a lot of experience with that kind of climbing, and we could each make informed decisions and kind of contribute to the team.
During the chapter of this series, also we can see how French glaciologist Heidi Sylvestre conduct a study on how this unexplored area of Greenland has been affected by global warming, no? So where do you think the importance of this research lies for the future generations of scientists, climbers, and everyone else?
Well, I think that the science that she was doing on the expedition is it was totally worthwhile. It's great science, but really she's just contributing data to many different universities around the world, like different
Mhm.
experiments with different people. And none of that data in and of itself is game changing. I mean, no experiment that Heidi did on that trip is going to change the world or like discover a new thing. It's just sort of contributing to people's understanding of the world and contributing to knowledge. What I think could potentially have a bigger significance
Okay.
is the inspiration that people get from seeing Heidi, basically, because Heidi is so charismatic and so passionate, and like she's so well spoken. She's such a good advocate for science, basically, that I mean I'd like to think that some kid will watch Arctic Ascent and see what she's doing and think I can do that. Like I want to do that. Like I want to be a scientist. I want to explore the world and learn about the world and discover new things. And I mean I think that really that's hopefully the bigger impact that Heidi has.
Yeah, I'm totally agree. So now let's talk about a little bit about Mexico. 10 years ago, you traveled to El Potrero Chico, Nuevo León, to tackle the El Sendero Luminoso wall. Do you have any other place you would like to climb in my country? And if so, what will be?
Yeah, well, I've done, I don't know, like 8 trips to Mexico for
Oh, really?
different. Yeah, I've been to Gran Trono Blanco and Baja, and then El Gigante in sort of in central Mexico, and then I've been to
Mhm.
Potrero, I think 3 or 4 times, and then this area El Salto near Potrero. I mean, there's so many big walls in Mexico, so obviously I've been to
Yeah.
many of them over the years. Um, Actually, the friends that I'm climbing with right now, and I'm at my home in Las Vegas right now, but the partner that I've been climbing with for the last month, he's about to go down to Potrero to
Mm,
climb Sendero Luminoso.
nice.
He's yeah, so I've actually been talking about Sendero a lot because my friends are about to go climb it. But no, I mean yeah, I love climbing Mexico and I would definitely go back. I think some of the other areas that I'd like to climb in Mexico are
Mhm.
further south, like Chonta, like some giant cave outside of Mexico City. It's like a famous sport climbing area.
Yeah, yeah.
I just remember seeing pictures when I was a kid and thinking like that is the craziest cave I've ever seen. But it's a little bit more complicated travel wise and like family wise and no, but I'm sure I'll spend more time in Mexico. Actually, my in-laws who live near us in town here just spent 2 months in Baja, and they're
Mhm.
trying to convince the whole family to go to Baja in the winters just for the nice weather.
When little kids dream about adventure, I mean, I think this is basically it.